Imagine standing at the edge of a massive ocean, waves crashing before you. You've been walking for what feels like an eternity, weary, exhausted, questioning whether you'll ever reach the abundance you've been striving for. But what if I told you every storm, every setback, every rejection was never meant to break you? It was preparing you for a flood of blessings that is about to pour into your life. Have you ever felt like you were on the verge of something greater, yet it remained just out of reach? Like there's a force holding you back, an invisible wall separating you from the life you know deep down you're meant to live? That's not a coincidence. That's divine preparation. The truth is, chosen ones are tested more than anyone else. Why? Because the level of opposition you face is in direct proportion to the magnitude of your destiny. Before stepping into divine overflow, before you can hold the weight of your blessings, you must be shaped, refined, and prepared to handle it. God doesn't give millions to those who haven't mastered stewardship. He doesn't open doors to those who will walk back into the very environments that once enslaved them. So if you felt like life has been testing you, if you've been feeling like things are getting harder instead of easier, know this: your struggles have not been in vain. You are on the brink of a breakthrough so massive, so extraordinary, that those who once doubted you will be left speechless. What's coming is bigger than you imagined. And when it arrives, you'll finally understand why you had to endure the fire before stepping into your divine overflow. The question is, are you ready to receive what has always been yours? Imagine growing up feeling different, like you never quite fit in. No matter where you went or who you surrounded yourself with, there was always this invisible barrier, an unshakable sense that you were meant for something greater. But the world didn't see it. You tried to blend in, to be like everyone else. But deep down, you knew you were cut from a different cloth. From an early age, you faced struggles that others didn't seem to experience in the same way. The financial hardships, the unexpected losses, the betrayals from those you trusted. Every time you got close to a breakthrough, something would happen, a setback, a rejection, an obstacle that seemed almost designed to hold you back. It felt like the universe was working against you, like no matter how hard you tried, success was always just out of reach. And then there were the people around you, the ones who underestimated you. They saw you struggle, but they didn't see your potential. They laughed when you talked about your dreams. They dismissed your ambition as foolish. They couldn't understand why you refused to settle for an ordinary life when they were content with mediocrity. But what they didn't know was that you were never meant to live an average life. You were being prepared for something much greater, something beyond what the human eye could perceive. But here's the thing about chosen ones. Your struggles are not a sign of failure. They are evidence of your calling. Every hardship, every delay, every rejection is part of the process. What you don't see is the divine orchestration happening behind the scenes. God has been aligning things in your favor, removing what doesn't serve you, and preparing you for what's coming next. Many people assume that success is only about talent, hard work, or connections. But when you are chosen, spiritual forces are at play. There are unseen battles happening around you, forces trying to keep you from stepping into your destiny. Every setback you faced was not just a test. It was spiritual training. Every loss you endured was a lesson in detachment, a lesson in faith. Every betrayal was a reminder that not everyone can go where you're headed. And divine timing, oh, how frustrating it can be. You've worked harder than most, but the doors you expected to open remain shut. You've seen others succeed faster, while you were left waiting, wondering when your time would come. But what if I told you that the reason for these delays wasn't because you were forgotten, but because you were being protected? Your time is coming, but first, you had to be made ready. If success had come too soon, you wouldn't have been able to handle it. The money, the influence, the opportunities, you weren't just being prepared for these things. You were being prepared to sustain them. Because when the floodgates of blessings open, they will come fast and heavy. And only those who have endured the process will be able to handle the overflow. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been questioning why your breakthrough hasn't come yet, remember this. Your struggles are the evidence of your preparation. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being strengthened, molded, and positioned for the moment when everything shifts in your favor. And when that moment comes, those who once doubted you will watch in disbelief as you rise. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when everything seems to collapse at once. The job you thought would bring stability is taken away. The people you trusted turn against you. The plans you worked so hard for suddenly crumble. It feels like the universe is stripping everything from you, leaving you with nothing but unanswered questions and silent prayers. Why? Why does everything have to fall apart before it gets better? The truth is, before elevation, there is destruction. It may not make sense at first, but sometimes life has to break you down before it can build you back up in the way God intended. You weren't meant to stay in the same place with the same people in the same mindset. And because you are chosen, your transformation isn't meant to be small. It's meant to be extraordinary. That means everything that is not aligned with your destiny has to be removed. One of the hardest parts of the journey is the isolation phase. You start losing friends. People stop calling. The ones you used to rely on become distant. At first, you wonder if you did something wrong. But this isn't punishment. This is divine protection. God saw what you couldn't see. He heard the conversations you weren't a part of. He knew the intentions behind the smiles, the hidden jealousy, the secret betrayals. And so, he began removing those who were never meant to go with you into your next chapter. Isolation is not loneliness. It's preparation. This is a phase where God strips away distractions so you can hear his voice clearly, where he pushes you to rely on him alone, where he teaches you the lessons you need for the next level. It's a painful process, but it's also the most necessary one. As you started to awaken to your divine purpose, your energy changed. You stopped tolerating negativity. You stopped engaging in meaningless conversations. You started seeing through people's true intentions. And that made many uncomfortable. People who once felt superior to you could no longer control you. The ones who benefited from your silence grew uneasy when you started setting boundaries. Your light became too bright for those who thrived in darkness. And instead of supporting your growth, many chose to leave. Let them go. Not everyone is meant to go where you're headed. Some were only part of your journey to teach you lessons. Others were distractions meant to delay your progress. Their departure is not a loss. It's a blessing. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go. We hold on to relationships, places, and identities that no longer serve us because they are familiar. But familiarity can be the biggest enemy of growth. Holding on to the past only delays your future. What if I told you that the pain you felt wasn't meant to destroy you, but to create space for something greater? Sometimes the loss is the blessing. The rejection is the redirection. The betrayal is the breakthrough. God knew that if he didn't force you to let go, you would have stayed in situations far below what you deserve. So he allowed the breaking, the stripping away, the painful endings, not to hurt you, but to prepare you. What's coming next is bigger than you ever imagined. But first, you had to be emptied so that you could be filled. The pain wasn't punishment. It was positioning. And soon, you'll see why it all had to happen this way. There comes a defining moment in every chosen one's journey when the old way of thinking no longer serves them. You start to realize that the struggles you endured were never meant to keep you stuck. They were meant to awaken you. The moment you step into this awareness, everything begins to shift. You start seeing money, success, and abundance not as things reserved for others, but as your divine inheritance. The struggle wasn't meant to last forever. You were always meant to step into overflow. But first, your mindset had to be transformed. The reason most people stay in scarcity is that they have been conditioned to believe in limitation. They think wealth is only for privilege, that success is out of reach, that they must suffer before they can receive. But chosen ones are called to break these generational cycles. Your abundance is not something you have to beg for. It's something you must claim. The moment you stop asking for permission to be successful and start walking in the belief that wealth is already yours, everything around you begins to change. This is a divine shift, from struggle to abundance, from lack to overflow. The most powerful shift in your journey won't happen outside of you. It will happen within. Your mind is the gateway to abundance. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, the expectations you set, these are the invisible forces shaping your reality. For years, you may have been conditioned to think small, to shrink yourself, to settle for just enough. But that was never your destiny. Chosen ones are meant to create, to build, to influence, to lead. And for that, you need abundance. Once you start embracing the idea that there is no limit to what you can achieve, doors begin to open. You stop worrying about competition because you understand that the universe is limitless. You stop fearing failure because you know that every setback is just a setup for your next breakthrough. You stop seeking validation because you realize that you are already chosen for greatness. This is where the real transformation happens. Not when money shows up, but when your mindset shifts to one of absolute certainty that abundance is already yours. Many people fail to achieve abundance because they think it's all about hard work. But hard work alone is not the key. Alignment is. Money is not just paper. It is energy. It flows to those who understand it, respect it, and know how to attract it. If you constantly view money as something that is scarce, something that is hard to earn, something that is slipping through your fingers, you will continue to experience lack. But when you see money as a tool, as an extension of energy, as something that flows freely to those who are in alignment with their purpose, everything shifts. Faith and action must work together. You cannot just wish for wealth. You must align yourself with it. That means making decisions from a place of abundance rather than fear. That means surrounding yourself with people who think bigger, who elevate your mindset. That means stepping boldly into opportunities, investing in your growth, and taking inspired action toward your goals. When you start thinking, speaking, and acting like the wealthy, wealth begins to find you. The divine shift happens the moment you start living as if what you desire is already yours. The law of assumption states that whatever you assume to be true will become your reality. This is not just a manifestation technique. It is a spiritual law. If you constantly assume that life is hard, that money is difficult to obtain, that success is for others but not for you, that is exactly what you will experience. But the moment you assume that wealth is your natural state, that opportunities are chasing you, that abundance is already flowing your life, your world will start to shift. Spiritual alignment is key. You cannot desire abundance while holding on to a mindset of lack. You cannot ask for wealth while believing deep down that you don't deserve it. You must first align your spirit with abundance, knowing that God, the universe, and all divine forces are conspiring to bless you. When your thoughts, emotion, and actions are in harmony with abundance, the floodgates open. What you seek is already seeking you. You are not meant to struggle forever. You are not meant to live in lack. You are chosen for something greater. The divine shift is happening. Are you ready to step into it? There were people who never wanted to see you win. They doubted you, underestimated you, and even tried to sabotage your success. Some did it out of jealousy, others out of fear. They sensed something different about you, your light, your potential, your divine purpose, and it made them uncomfortable. Instead of supporting you, they tried to hold you back. But what they didn't realize is that no one can block what God has already written for you. Some of the very people who smiled in your face secretly hoped you would fail. They spoke against you in rooms you weren't in. They laughed at your struggles. They counted you out, believing you would never rise. But they failed to understand one thing. When you are chosen, every setback is just a setup for a divine comeback. God was never going to let their plan succeed. What they meant for harm, God turned into fuel for your elevation. Every attempt to block you only push you closer to your breakthrough. Life operates on spiritual laws, and one of the most powerful is the law of cause and effect. What you put out, you get back. Those who tried to hinder you are now facing the consequences of their actions. Not because you sought revenge, but because divine justice is always at work. When people operate from jealousy, deceit, or manipulation, they dig their own graves. While they were busy plotting against you, you were busy growing. You stayed focused, you kept your heart pure, and you continue to move forward. Now, those same people who try to dim your light are watching you shine brighter than ever. They have no choice but to witness your rise, knowing they played no part in it. Some will regret their actions. Others will pretend they never doubted you. But deep down, they know the truth. They tried to stop what God had already ordained, and they failed. Jealousy always intensifies right before a major breakthrough. The enemy sees your elevation before you do, and that's why attacks often increase when you're close to your blessing. The fake friends, the unexpected betrayals, the sudden obstacles, it's all a sign that you're stepping into something greater. The forces of darkness cannot stop a chosen one, but they will try to distract, discourage, and delay you. Have you ever noticed how, just when things start improving, negativity tries to creep in? That's because your energy is shifting. You're moving into a new season, and not everyone can come with you. People who once supported you suddenly become distant. Others who never paid attention to you now seem obsessed with what you're doing. Some try to compete with you, while others try to discredit you. But the truth is, none of it matters. Their jealousy is just confirmation that you are on the right path. If they weren't intimidated by your potential, they wouldn't feel the need to attack you. If they truly believed you would fail, they wouldn't waste energy trying to stop you. But because they see your glow, your power, your divine calling, they react in fear. That's why chosen ones cannot afford to be distracted by negativity. When you stay focused on your purpose, you rise above the noise. Nothing is more humbling than watching someone you counted out become unstoppable. The same people who tried to limit, you will soon have to acknowledge your success. They will see you thriving, not because they helped you, but because God was always on your side. Some will be forced to admit they were wrong. Others will pretend they never doubted you. But one thing is certain, they will witness your rise. This is divine justice. God doesn't just elevate you. He does in a way that those who doubted you cannot ignore. The very people who laughed at your struggles will see you walking in abundance. Those who try to block your opportunities will watch new doors open for you effortlessly. The ones who said you would never make it will hear your name being spoken in rooms they never imagined. And the best part? You won't even have to say a word. Your success will speak for itself. This is why chosen ones must never seek revenge. Your elevation is the only proof you need. When God is fighting for you, there is nothing your enemies can do to stop it. Every attempt to bring you down has only built you up. Every betrayal, every setback, every obstacle was part of your preparation. Now, you are stepping into your divine season, and nothing can stand in your way. A chosen one in alignment with their divine purpose is unstoppable. The trials you face weren't just struggles. They were training. They built your resilience, strengthened your faith, and sharpened your vision. Now, you are walking in clarity, wisdom, and power. You are no longer controlled by fear, doubt, or other people's opinions. You have stepped into divine alignment, and that means you are moving at God's speed. What does that mean? It means doors will open for you that no one can shut. It means opportunities will find you, blessings will chase you, and success will come naturally. It means you no longer have to force things. What is meant for you will flow effortlessly. This is the power of alignment. When your energy matches your destiny, nothing can stop the overflow. The people who doubted you, irrelevant. The ones who try to block you, defeated. The challenges that once held you back, non-existent. You are no longer fighting for success. You are simply stepping into what was already yours. So walk boldly into your season of elevation. Stand tall, knowing that no weapon formed against you will prosper. Trust the process, because every single thing that happened was leading you here. They tried to stop you, but God had other plans. And now your time has come. There comes a moment when you can feel that everything is about to change. You may not see the wealth in your hands yet, but deep inside, you know something is shifting. This is a divine preparation before the floodgates of abundance open. The energy around you becomes lighter, signs appear everywhere, and opportunities start aligning effortlessly. If you've been praying, working, and trusting the process, here's how you'll know that your financial breakthrough has finally arrived. One of the biggest signs that wealth is coming your way is the arrival of unexpected financial blessings. This could be in the form of new job offers, surprise gifts, bonuses, sudden business ideas, or even people reaching out with opportunities you never saw coming. Have you noticed money showing up in random ways? Maybe someone pays off a debt they owed you. You receive an unexpected check, or a side hustle starts gaining traction overnight. These are divine signals that the floodgates of abundance are opening. Things that once seemed difficult now happen effortlessly. Clients appear out of nowhere. Promotions come without struggle, or you suddenly attract the right connections. This is no coincidence. It's divine alignment. When money begins flowing in ways you never expected, it's a sure sign that the universe is responding to your energy shift. before wealth arrives in the physical world. It shows up in your spirit first. You start getting intuitive nudges, clear dreams, and a deep knowing that something big is coming. Have you ever had a dream where you saw yourself living in abundance? Maybe you found yourself in a luxurious home, traveling to new places, or simply feeling financially free. These aren't just random dreams. They are previews of your reality before it manifests. Your intuition becomes heightened. You start getting strong gut feelings about which moves to make. Certain ideas come to you, and you feel compelled to take action. This is divine guidance leading you to your financial breakthrough. Many chosen ones experience this shift before wealth arrives. The universe speaks through visions, dreams, and a deep sense of inner certainty. If you feel an unshakable confidence about your future, trust it. Your breakthrough is already on the way. When financial abundance is near, the universe starts communicating through divine signs and synchronicities. One of the most powerful ways this happens is through repeating numbers. 111, a sign of manifestation. Your thoughts are aligning with reality. Be mindful of what you focus on, because it's becoming your truth. 222, a message of balance and patience. Your financial success is on the way. Just stay aligned. 777, a sign of divine blessings and spiritual wealth. You're on the right path, and the universe is rewarding you. 888, the ultimate wealth code. This number signifies financial abundance, success, and limitless prosperity. Seeing this number repeatedly means your money frequency has shifted, and wealth is now flowing to you. Along with numbers, you'll feel an inner knowing. It's almost like you don't have to question it anymore. You just know that money is coming. You no longer operate in doubt or fear, because something deep inside reassures you that everything is working in your favor. This is divine confirmation that your financial breakthrough is already yours. One of the clearest signs that your financial breakthrough is here is that you no longer stress about money. Instead of feeling anxious or worried, you feel calm, centered, and at peace, regardless of your bank balance. Why? Because your energy has shifted. You have stepped into a place of trust, faith, and alignment. You no longer chase money. You attract it effortlessly. You start thinking like a wealthy person, not from lack, but from abundance. You feel grateful for what you have now, knowing more is coming. You release scarcity mindset and fully embrace financial overflow. This is a final test before the breakthrough. Staying in a state of peace before the blessings appear. The moment you stop worrying and start trusting, the doors of abundance swing wide open. Your faith is the key that unlocks your wealth. Chosen one, you are already stepping into your abundance. Everything you've been through, the struggles, the setbacks, the isolation, was necessary to prepare you for the blessings that are now unfolding in your life. This journey was never about punishment. It was about refinement. Every delay, every rejection, and every obstacle was shaping you into the person who could handle the wealth, success, and purpose that's coming your way. Now, you're no longer just hoping for abundance. You are aligning with it, embodying it, and stepping into it fully. Stay patient. Embrace divine timing. The universe is already conspiring in your favor, and nothing can stop what's meant for you. Your breakthrough is not in the future. It's here, now. The only thing left for you to do is receive it with faith.